You guys are a government entity, right? Okay.
Yep.
But you had a .com. That's what threw me off there for a second. But you go there and it is a .gov. So first off, talk about Job Service North Dakota. What it is you guys do.
You want to take that? Okay.
Go ahead, Cindy.
Okay.
And we also have Phil Davis with us, but he's not on the Facebook. But Cindy's here, so you might see people jumping back and forth a little bit. So go ahead, Cindy.
Okay. Well, we do a variety of things. We work with employers, first of all. So if employer comes in, we work with them as far as posting jobs and helping them set up some job searches. They can search for resumes. We work with employers and or employees, so job searches, resumes, all that type of, whatever they need to find jobs. We try and connect the two together. And then we have some other opportunities with on-the-job training. So we work with youth. We work with Pride.
We have workshops.
Workshops for different resume building, interview skills, that type of thing.
Teaching people how to go get a job.
And computer skills.
I would imagine that's got to be, over the last 10 years, a demand that you couldn't even describe, as far as people wanting to get online, wanting to get their information online, or do they still want the old go and pick up a resume and fill it out?
They want to go pick up a resume and fill it out.
They want the action of it.
Yep. The higher skilled, like skilled oil field, I'm going to talk, mostly oil field.
Mm-hmm.
They have tons of skills, but they don't have the computer skills.
Okay.
They're not as high tech. If you look at your phone, now they use their phone. They don't see the phone the same as a computer. So more and more people, they don't have the typing skills because they're used to texting and everything else. So when it comes to actually using the computer, those skills they don't coincide the two together.
Are you guys on apps and phones? And I know you're online and you've got, but do you guys have an app?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And it's pretty easy for people. They pre-qualify, screen the type of job they're looking for, and kind of go from there.
They can job search and look for anything that they want.
And then does it go to them after that? Does it send them an email, or do they have to go back on and search again? Like once they set the parameters up, do you know what I mean? Does it kind of?
They can set it up also on our website, jobsindy.com.
Mm-hmm.
They can go ahead and set up a profile and click on a certain box, and it'll send them text message. And whenever there's a new job that opens up that meets their qualifications that they have listed. We have an app. We're on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So we're across the social media platform too.
Okay. And my understanding is a lot of the oil and gas jobs, they've been really trying to cultivate a younger audience. Are you hearing that with where you're at, or do they not? I suppose they can't. Age isn't part of it, but I've been hearing it more and more about the digital platform, the social media, to bring in a younger audience, because the oil and gas world is aging. They're getting older. They're getting ready to retire, and I think it's like 40%. Are you hearing anything about that, or are you
seeing it?
You are seeing it. Okay.
We're seeing the younger. The median age right now for Williston is 30, and McKenzie County is 30. So we've dropped just 6 years and 6. So 6 years and 6 years. So we're seeing that younger generation come in. More computer literate. Again, it's mostly phone. It's not on the computer.
Okay. How about jobs? Are we seeing more trade jobs? Are we seeing more computer jobs? Where are you seeing the jobs in the oil and gas world going these days?
It's a higher skill set.
Okay.
Before, and I went in 2011. So what happened then is more labor. So we laughingly would say, if you can fog up a mirror, you can get a job, which really wasn't true, but that's what happened. We just had a lot more labor. Now the skill set is a lot higher. Computer skills are a definite need, and the trades, a huge increase in trade.
We're talking welding, pipe fitting, probably artificial intelligence is even
Drone pilots is a big one.
I would think so.
Yeah, those are some new ones that we're seeing. And then we're seeing some jobs that are disappearing. So the transloading is disappearing as pipeline takes over oil being shipped by train to the pipeline. So those jobs are decreasing, and then the pipeline is increasing. So the skill sets are changing.
Going the way of the fax machine and the TV repairman, huh?
Yeah.
Just not around much anymore?
Or cameras, they're not around either.
No, they're not. No, you're right. Okay, so drone, what are a couple other drone pilot jobs that might catch somebody's eye like that? Because that's what does it require to, do you have to have an education for that?
Well, most of them are certifications.
Certification,
Yep,
okay.
lots of certifications.
Okay.
When you're looking at a lot of the jobs that are out there.
Mm-hmm.
That's really more so than a 2-year or training. Of course, CDL is always huge. Your diesel mechanics,
Yeah.
you know, that's nationwide. Those 2 industries are nationwide. There's really a decrease in those. But if you search if you just put in mechanics in our website, I think across, well, for us, I actually did that, and it was 40-some jobs
Okay.
just for mechanic-wise. Construction is still huge. Actually, construction is the largest industry in McKenzie County right now.
Construction. Well, there was a lot of road construction, you know, whether it was surge money or infrastructure that was being built, plus the buildings that were being done there quite a bit in Watford City and McKenzie County. How about other jobs that would be, you know, you mentioned construction. Are you seeing any trucking or cafe or some of those supporting service jobs? Are you seeing a surge or a demand in there anywhere?
All of them.
All of them? Okay.
Teachers.
Florists.
Yeah, yep. Actually, we have one, you know, we just placed a florist just the other day, so you're saying that. Florist helper. Teachers. Just in our area, there's a need for 25 teachers. Because the population of the youth is continuing to go up. I would just talk to the superintendent in Williston just for District 1. That's only 1 school out of 3. And they are up 80 kindergartners alone this year over last year.
That's what I'm hearing. Births are up, school enrollments are up. That would, well, you need to somehow support that, so you need jobs, right?
Yep. Well, what we saw is the infrastructure. You know, in 2011, we didn't have the infrastructure. And really, it was kind of like, I always said, it was a badge of honor for people to go, oh yeah, I slept in my truck in Williston.
Yeah.
You don't do that anymore.
No.
The infrastructure is there. And
Now you're judged.
Yeah, it really has changed. So
Before it was, how gritty. Now it's
Yeah.
like, dude, you're kind of in the loser category now.
yeah, you're right. So, because the infrastructure is there, and they're still continuing to grow the infrastructure, because the oil field is continuing to grow, but and with that, the infrastructure is starting to grow. I mean, if you look at it, housing is changing. I mean, last month alone, just in Williston, they sold over 75 homes, which was more than they did since I've been there in 2011.
Okay.
So constantly seeing that increase, and the majority of them were first-time homeowners under the age of 35.
So are these jobs keeping people here?
Definitely.
They are.
Yep.
Okay, because, you know, that's a big concern in the past is, okay, we bring in all these out-of-staters, and then the price goes down a little bit, and then they leave, and now the florist is hurting, and now the cafe is hurting. But it looks like there's such a shift of, you mentioned earlier, these are, what was the word you used? These are specialized jobs or higher tech jobs?
Higher
or
skilled.
Higher skilled.
Yep.
Generally, that means you're more apt to plant roots, I would say. Is that what?
Yeah, we are. We're seeing, again, it goes back to infrastructure. We didn't have the infrastructure when everybody was coming in. We didn't have homes for them to stay. You know, like real estate, that was an easy job in 2011. Hi. Yes, I have $250,000 cash. What it's going to buy me?
Yeah.
You know, and now we're regular as far as, you know, housing and everything else is starting to pick up. I mean, but definitely youth. You walk around and there's all kinds of young families, and Rock by the Softball, you know, it's full of softball and men's teams, women's teams, co-ed teams, volleyball. I mean, you drive anywhere around town and it looks like normal anywhere else that you would go.
So the quality of life has definitely been improving, and you're hearing that more and more in your office. Hang on one second. All right, Cindy Sanford, Job Service North Dakota. As we kind of wind down here, you're getting ready to speak here at the third annual Bakken Conference. And do you guys break down like percentages or number of jobs? Like how many jobs are available right now in North Dakota for oil and gas?
No, I can speak to that.
Okay.
Well, in oil and gas, I don't have that number right in front of me, but statewide openings, we have 12,800 across the board. And that's not only the oil and gas, but it could be construction, it could be healthcare, it could be IT, it could be working at the local fast food, you know, restaurant, anything like that. Were you going to say something about that?
Well, just oil field, just for our section, is right around 173 if you just put the word oil field in.
Okay.
And that will change as much as 50 jobs in a week.
Okay.
And what we're seeing is when people used to be 1 or 2 or sometimes 4, but now we're seeing we need 10 people or we need 15 people. So it's double-digit numbers that companies are needing, and it's not always just the larger companies, but also some of that mid-size to the smaller companies.
Are there any like you know, the old roughneck jobs or any of those like available? Are people hiring for those old traditional oil and gas outside of the truck driving and the florists and everything?
Yep. Today, actually, I just looked. We posted 12 roustabout jobs today.
12 roustabout jobs just today.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what the starting wages are?
Depends on experience.
Okay.
But it could probably an average is $18.
Okay.
Up to as high as 26. It can be.
Back when the Bakken was at $100 and Walmart was paying $40 an hour or whatever, $25 an hour, 17.
Yeah.
And, Taco John's was paying $20 an hour. Fast food places, you know what I mean. The stories.
The stories.
Where are we at today with some of these like average jobs, to the entry level jobs that were paying double or triple before? Are they back to maybe time and a half or?
Well, what's happened is, I'll take McDonald's.
Great example. Okay, McDonald's.
They were paying $12 an hour in 2011, 2012. They're paying $12 an hour now.
Okay.
So that hasn't changed. The Taco Bells, Taco John's, they were paying like $8 unless you worked over the lunch, and then you were getting 12 to 16, depending on where it is. So, we really don't have that minimum wage. I'd say our average introductory salary is going to be $12 an hour. We see very, very few that are under $12. Maybe, in fact, in the last 2 weeks, I've only seen one that came in under $10.
Okay.
That was $10. But I haven't seen anything under $10.
So, and then the companies you're seeing white trucks around Williston? Yep. I mean, are you seeing the, what I mean, kind of the anecdotal signs? Are you seeing that?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So what do you predict over the next 6 months with some of these jobs? Are you going to see them filled? Are you going to see more open? Are you going to see about the same, I guess?
Well, we're hoping that, I think it's going to be consistent. There's continually, we need people. All of North Dakota needs people, but we're definitely seeing a need out in the western part of the state. We are starting to see some housing again that's being paid for, some per diems and transportation home.
Okay.
Not a lot, but we are starting to see some of that come back to get some of the people. We're not seeing people come from the Texas area or some of those other areas that are having the high oil demands.
Mm-hmm. Well, the nation's not in a recession either, like
it
was last time. A lot of people forget that. North Dakota was like one of the only states making money.
Well, we had people come in and say, North Dakota saved me.
Yeah.
They made their money, they paid off their mortgage, they paid off, we have all kinds of great stories, and we still hear from them saying, you know what, I went back, but I don't have a mortgage, my cars are paid for, my kids' education is paid for, and I've taken a job at a lot less than what I was making then, but it was worth the 2.5, 3 years that I was there, and, and maybe I will come back.
So you're seeing the trades are becoming increasingly more valuable.
Contingent, yep.
CDLs, being specialized drivers, you can write your own ticket too?
Well, yes.
More or less.
Right. But, the difference with CDL, a lot of times across the United States, CDL means different things to different people.
Okay.
So in the oil field, CDL, you're in the truck, so you're a laborer also. So it's you need the license to get the truck and everything out to the site, and then you're going to work it.
Okay.
So it's not just driving in the truck like over the road you would find. And some people, when they hear CDL, it's just grouped all into one. So there is a little difference in that.
Okay. But there's still a demand for those too? There
is a huge demand. I think I put 147 today.
Okay, just today. Okay, so a little bit of demand there. And then drug testing, is that pretty much the norm now?
Yep.
Pretty much the norm, just no matter what job it is, if it's Taco John's to trucking, of course. Anything to do with DOT and oil and gas and air bases, pretty much that's the norm. Yeah.
Yep.
But are you starting to see that more into the Taco John's type jobs?
No.
No. Okay.
No, we're not, in the customer service area. We're not
there
seeing that
yet
as much. There are, maybe some managers here and there, but
Childcare, I heard, is almost like it's mandatory there now.
it is.
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
childcare is.
I was happy to hear that, because I didn't think of that. Of course, you think of the transportation and working with heavy machinery, and you start thinking, well, it would only make sense around children and other things too.
Yep.
So, okay.
Our best asset.
Any final thoughts you might have? Make sure you plug on how people can get in touch with however it is might do things. But
go
good.
One thing that we should hit on too is it's just not the oil field jobs.
Right.
Bring your family, bring your kids, because there's opportunities for the spouse. And I think, Cindy, you and I were talking back in the office that before in 2011 and 2012, it was made up 60% oil field jobs across the board, if not higher. And we had, some opportunities for spouses. But now we're seeing that start to rise on the other side. So, and have a plan when you come to our state too. Now, unlike before, there are opportunities to where you can live, not just like you guys were talking about before, showing up and sleeping in your vehicle. You can actually get a place to live here. And so great schools, places to live, great jobs, come to North Dakota.
Yep. Oh, I agree 100%. And the rents have, and that's probably something that needs to be addressed, because a lot of people are still looking at the information from 2012. And they're going, well, I can't afford to live there. It's $1,500 for a one bedroom. It's $525.
It's gotten down that much,
It's
huh?
gone down that much, $525
Wow.
up to $750, depending on what you want in an apartment. Do you want a pool there? What do
Right.
so it's going to depend there. So the rates have definitely dropped considerably, and there's still openings there.
How about the $1.2 billion community center in Williston? Has that just improved the quality of life in Williston, or
Oh,
what?
definitely. You
I mean-
go there and it is packed all the time.
On a nice day like today with that pool, Olympic-size swimming pool, and water slides, right? And all kinds
yeah.
of different stuff.
Yep,
Yeah, I would
everything.
imagine that would be. I looked at that as a very big boon to the. Williston. What are you? 5 hours from Bismarck?
3.5. Yeah.
Oh, how fast are you going? Jeez.
As long as she's not driving the state.
Exactly. Driving the state car. Anyway, so.
Another thing we should say too is these jobs just aren't in Williston. They're
Right.
also in Dickinson.
Sure.
That Kildare area that sometimes
Watford
they
City.
get overshadowed a little bit from what's going on in McKinsey and Williams County.
Yep.
A lot of things going on in Stark and Dunn County also. So we have to give a shout out to
definitely.
the Dickinson area also.
That's the gentleman we're talking to today. Can you wave and say hello? Okay. See, we got to make sure we get some of the Facebook Live stuff in there. So.
Yeah, in the facilities, and actually, they're going to talk about all the facilities in Watford City today. They have a beautiful conference center that is outstanding. I mean, I used to work in higher ed, and it overshadows anything that I ever worked at.
I know we're going to have a gentleman from Watford City on a little bit later, Daniel. He took over for Gene Veter, I believe.
Yep.
And his last name escapes me, and so here I'm looking it up as we go. Stenberg?
Yep.
Yeah, Daniel Stenberg. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Of course, Gene Veter, I think he's doing Watford City now, right?
Yep, he's in the city.
He was doing the county. Now he's doing the city. And then I talked to Jay Schuler, the Commerce Commissioner, last week. Just appointed him to a economic board. So, oil and gas. I don't know. For me, it's what makes the economy work. So, well, okay. How can we get in touch? Anything else that we need to talk about here? I know you got to get ready for presentation, so I don't want to, take up too much of your time here.
It's going to be on the clock pretty soon.
Yeah.
Our website, jobsnd.com. And we have offices in Minot, Williston, Dickinson, and Bismarck for the western part of the state, where a lot of these jobs that we're talking about can be found.
Oops, I don't want to cover your face there.
That's right.
Cindy Sanford and Phil Davis.